Are now putting the final touches on legislation for their tax and spending spree. But at the same time, Republicans are presented with a unique opportunity, so says a new op-ed by a former House Speaker, Newt Gingrich. He says every Democrat in Congress has already voted for the outline of the over $3 trillion spending bill. And that will be on their record. Joining me right now is former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. He is the author of a new book, Beyond Biden. It is out on November 2nd. Pick it up. Good to see you, sir. Thanks very much for being here.
Glad to be with you. And it's amazing to me what's going on. It's almost like having watched how uninformed they were about Afghanistan and what would happen there. They seem equally uninformed about the American people. You know, big government socialism is supported by about 1 out of every 6 Americans. 1 out of every 6. Scott Rasmussen reported 2 days ago that 76% of the American people, 3 out of 4, think they already pay taxes that are too high. And yet you have this big government socialist bill written by Bernie Sanders, who is an avowed socialist, so it's legitimate to say that it's a big government socialist bill. There were no moderate Democrats in August. In the House and the Senate, they got 100% of the Democrats to vote to create big government socialism on a grand scale. And remember, Bernie has said he really wanted it to be a $6 trillion bill. He thought this was the compromise at $3.5 trillion with about a $3 trillion tax increase. So I think the Democrats have walked into a disaster if Republicans can be disciplined enough to focus on big government socialism and drive home just what that vote means.
Right. I mean, you say that this is a chance for the Republicans to rebrand the other party, rebrand the Democrats as big government socialists. So let's talk about some things in that bill, because you say it's $3.5 trillion. They say it's $3.5 trillion, but we know it's much more expensive than that. First of all, it's really $5.5 trillion because they've got these gimmicks in there that say, yes, this money going out to this group, this child credit, this other credit, it's going to go away within the 10-year period. But it's not going to go away. Yeah. It's very hard to take something away once you give it. So when you add that up for a 10-year period, you're talking about more than $5 trillion in cost. They also want to jam in their immigration policy, and they want to jam in voting, their H.R. 1 bill. Newt?
Well, and to go back to your earlier guests on the border, this bill has $105 billion to help illegal immigrants get settled in the United States. I mean, we've moved from if you're here illegally, you should go home, to if you're here illegally, can we give you a bunch of money? And then we wonder why there are so many people crossing the border. The Biden administration is sending a signal not just to Central America, but across the whole world. In fact, there are several countries in Africa now that are major contributors to crossing the southern border. And I suspect that the Taliban and its various terrorist allies will pretty rapidly figure out that, you know, it's pretty easy to enter the United States. You go to Mexico and walk north.
That's right.
This is a policy of insanity, and they're actually incentivizing it in the Bernie Sanders big government socialist bill with $105 billion extra dollars for assigned to illegal immigration to help them get used to being an American.
Well, it's unbelievable that we are actually recognizing the Taliban, by the way, rather than just calling them a terrorist organization. After all, they did just pull off a coup and take over Afghanistan. And yet, you're absolutely right. Every lawmaker that I have spoken with on this subject says the same thing to me, and that is, of course, we're going to see terrorists show up at the southern border. It's wide open. Look at these pictures from our drone footage. Newt, 7,000 people right now standing under that bridge. And yet, How does Biden get away with just blowing this off as if it's no big deal?
Well, look, I think Biden lives in a fantasy world. Ronald Reagan used to say, it isn't what liberals don't know that scared him, it's what they know that isn't true. And I think Biden belongs to the wing, as does the Secretary of State, that believes that The Lion King was a documentary and that lions and zebras dance and sing together and love each other. And they treat criminals here at home that way. They treat terrorists overseas that way. Well, guess what? Lions are real and they eat zebras. Terrorists are real and they kill people. Criminals at home are real and they kill people. And when you have policies based on a fantasy vision of reality, which is what Biden does, and what all the Democrats now do, because they're all the same. I mean, they're all big government socialists with a fantasy view of the world. And when they go home, all their opponent has to do is hold up the congressional record, and their vote is right there. So it's going to be very hard for them to lie about, oh, I'm really a moderate. There were no moderates in August in the Democratic Party.
Well, I loved your op-ed because it's basically giving a pathway to Republicans to brand the opponent in the way that is realistic. And yet the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, holds on to his job, right, for at least another year. The Wall Street Journal this morning is reporting that the race could provide a campaign model for Democrats looking ahead to the midterms, that Republicans are taking the recall results as a warning. Speaker. So how do you see the Republicans faring next year with what we just learned in California? And I know Christian wants to jump in and ask you about a contract for America. I mean, how do you resonate to the Republican base to actually call the Democrats out?
Well, let me draw a distinction here. First of all, if they believe that what worked in California works anywhere else, I'm all for them following that strategy, because in 2016, Hillary Clinton carried California by a huge margin and lost the rest of the country. So if you're talking about Senate races in places like Arizona, and you're talking about House races everywhere in the country, including the Republican parts of California, they believe that if they run around screaming Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, it works. We have a test case in Virginia where Glenn Youngkin, the Republican, has run a very positive, idea-oriented, philosophically based campaign. And despite every effort by the Democrat former Governor Terry McAuliffe to scream Donald Trump, people realize that Glenn Youngkin isn't Donald Trump. He's a very successful businessman doing a great job, and that he's much more likely to create jobs for Virginia than Terry is. The big lesson for Republicans in California is simple. You cannot run a base-focused campaign, because in the end you alienate all the independents. And we have way too many consultants who think if only I can turn out the Republicans, it'll be great. There aren't enough Republicans in California to win unless you pick up the independents.
It's a great analysis. Newt, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.